Imagine the world as a giant chessboard, a vast and intricate playing field where every nation is a player, each with its own unique set of pieces and strategies. Each nation, a player with its own unique pieces, vying for influence, security, and prosperity. These pieces represent the various tools and resources at a nation's disposal, from military power to economic strength and even cultural influence. This is the essence of geopolitics, the complex interplay of geography, power, and strategy that shapes international relations. It's a dynamic and ever-evolving field where the stakes are incredibly high and the outcomes can have far-reaching consequences. Just like in chess, every move a nation makes on the world stage carries consequences, influencing the actions of its rivals and allies alike. A single decision can set off a chain reaction, altering the balance of power and shifting alliances. Geopolitics is not about predicting the future, it's about understanding the present and anticipating potential outcomes. It's about analyzing current events, recognizing patterns, and making informed decisions based on a deep understanding of the global landscape. It's about recognizing that geography matters. A nation's location, resources, and physical characteristics profoundly influence its foreign policy options. The natural barriers and corridors created by mountains, rivers, and deserts can dictate the flow of trade, the movement of armies, and the spread of ideas. It's about acknowledging that power comes in many forms: military might, economic clout, cultural influence, and nations must skillfully wield these tools to achieve their objectives. Military parades showcase strength, financial districts symbolize economic power, and cultural festivals highlight soft power. In this intricate game of nations, understanding the rules is paramount. Diplomacy, like chess, requires patience, foresight, and a keen understanding of the opponent's strategy. It's about recognizing the motivations of other players, anticipating their moves, and crafting strategies that safeguard national interests. Political analysts and strategists spend countless hours dissecting the actions and intentions of other nations to stay ahead in this global game. It's about knowing when to stand firm, when to negotiate, and when to forge alliances. The art of negotiation is crucial, as it can lead to peace treaties, trade agreements, and strategic partnerships that can alter the course of history. The world is a dynamic and often unpredictable place, and a keen understanding of geopolitics provides a crucial lens through which to make sense of it all. The interconnectedness of our world means that events in one region can have ripple effects across the globe. The stakes in this global game are high, with the fate of nations hanging in the balance. Decisions made in the halls of power can lead to prosperity or conflict, stability or chaos. From securing vital resources to combating transnational threats, the decisions made on the world stage resonate far beyond the halls of government. The quest for energy security, the fight against cyber threats, and the conduct of military operations are all part of this complex equation. In the sections that follow, we will delve deeper into the realm of geopolitics, exploring the key strategies employed by nations and examining how these strategies play out in the real world. We will look at case studies, analyze historical events, and consider the future of international relations in an ever-changing global landscape. Why should we, as citizens of the world, care about geopolitics? It's a question that might seem distant or abstract, but in reality, it touches every aspect of our daily lives, because it affects us all, in ways both seen and unseen. The decisions made by world leaders, guided by geopolitical considerations, have a direct impact on our lives, from the price we pay for gasoline to the safety of our streets. These decisions can influence the stability of our economies, the security of our nations, and even the quality of our environment. At its core, geopolitics is about survival. It's about how nations navigate the complex web of international relations to protect their interests and ensure their future. Nations strive to protect their citizens, safeguard their borders, and ensure their continued existence. This often involves a delicate balance of power, diplomacy, and sometimes military might. In a world where threats can emerge from anywhere, understanding the geopolitical landscape is crucial for national security. It helps nations anticipate potential conflicts and prepare for various scenarios. By analyzing the strengths and weaknesses of other nations, identifying potential adversaries, and forging strategic alliances, countries can better defend themselves against aggression and instability. This strategic foresight is essential for maintaining peace and stability. Beyond security, geopolitics also shapes economic prosperity. The global economy is deeply interconnected, and geopolitical dynamics can influence everything from trade policies to investment flows. Access to vital resources, control of strategic trade routes, and the ability to project economic influence are all influenced by geopolitical factors. These elements determine a nation's economic health and its ability to compete on the global stage. Nations that can effectively navigate the global chessboard can secure favorable trade agreements, attract foreign investment, and position themselves for economic growth. This economic strength, in turn, enhances their geopolitical standing. Moreover, geopolitics plays a crucial role in addressing global challenges that transcend national borders. Issues like climate change, pandemics, and terrorism cannot be tackled by any one nation alone. Climate change, pandemics, terrorism. These threats require international cooperation and a shared understanding of the geopolitical forces at play. Collaborative efforts are essential to develop effective solutions and mitigate these global risks. By working together, nations can leverage their collective strength to tackle these pressing issues and create a more stable and prosperous world. This cooperation is the cornerstone of a peaceful international community. In essence, geopolitics matters because it provides a framework for understanding the world around us. It offers insights into the motivations behind nations' actions and the potential consequences of their decisions. It helps us make sense of the complex web of relationships between nations, the motivations behind their actions, and the potential consequences of their decisions. This understanding is crucial for predicting future trends and preparing for what lies ahead. By grasping the fundamentals of geopolitics, we can become more informed citizens, better equipped to engage in meaningful discussions about the challenges and opportunities of our interconnected world. This knowledge empowers us to participate in shaping a better future for all. Hard power in its most basic form is the ability to coerce. It's the language of military might, of economic sanctions, of forceful diplomacy. When a nation flexes its hard power, it's sending a clear message: comply or face the consequences. Military strength lies at the heart of hard power. A large, well-equipped military allows a nation to project force beyond its borders, deter aggression, and intervene in conflicts. It's the ultimate guarantor of national sovereignty, the tool of last resort when diplomacy fails. But hard power extends beyond the battlefield. Economic sanctions, for instance, can cripple an adversary's economy, forcing them to the negotiating table. By restricting trade, freezing assets, or banning investment, nations can exert significant pressure without firing a single shot. Even diplomacy, typically seen as a softer tool, can take on a hard power edge. Threats, ultimatums, and shows of force can be used to intimidate weaker adversaries and extract concessions. This coercive diplomacy blurs the lines between persuasion and coercion, leveraging the threat of force to achieve diplomatic objectives. Hard power, however, is not without its drawbacks. It can be costly, both in terms of financial resources and human life. It can be a blunt instrument, often failing to address the underlying causes of conflict. And it can backfire, leading to unintended escalation and further instability.
History is replete with examples of hard power shaping the course of international relations. From the earliest days of human civilization, the ability to project military might has been a crucial factor in determining the rise and fall of empires and nations. From the ancient empires of Rome and Greece to the modern superpowers of the United States and China, the ability to wield force has always been a defining characteristic of great powers. These nations have used their military capabilities not only to defend their territories, but also to expand their influence and control over vast regions. The Roman Empire, for instance, built and maintained its vast dominion through a combination of military prowess, strategic alliances, and brutal subjugation. The Romans were masters of engineering and logistics, enabling them to move their legions quickly across great distances and maintain supply lines. The Roman legions, renowned for their discipline and effectiveness, crushed rebellions, conquered new territories, and secured the empire's borders for centuries. Their ability to adapt to different combat situations and their rigorous training regimens made them a formidable force on the battlefield.
In the 20th century, the Cold War between the United States and the Soviet Union showcased hard power in its most potent form, the nuclear standoff. This period was marked by a tense and precarious balance of power where the threat of mutual assured destruction loomed large over global politics. Both superpowers amassed vast arsenals of nuclear weapons, each capable of annihilating the other in a matter of hours. The sheer destructive potential of these weapons created a deterrent effect, preventing either side from initiating a direct conflict. This balance of terror prevented a direct military confrontation between the two, but it also led to proxy wars, arms races, and a constant climate of fear. Countries around the world were drawn into the orbit of the superpowers, often becoming battlegrounds for their ideological and strategic conflicts. The 2003 invasion of Iraq provides a more recent example of hard power in action, albeit a controversial one. The decision to invade was driven by a combination of strategic interests, intelligence assessments, and political considerations. The United States, citing the threat of weapons of mass destruction and Saddam Hussein's alleged support for terrorism, launched a full-scale invasion of Iraq, toppling the Iraqi regime in a matter of weeks. The initial military success was swift, but the subsequent occupation and reconstruction efforts proved to be far more challenging. However, the war proved costly in terms of both human life and financial resources, and the long-term consequences for regional stability remain a subject of debate. The conflict led to significant loss of life, widespread destruction, and a complex insurgency that has had lasting impacts on the region and beyond. The legacy of the Iraq War continues to influence international relations and military strategy to this day.
If you found this exploration of hard power insightful, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more in-depth videos on geopolitical strategies and global politics. Stay informed, stay engaged.